Hello everyone, welcome to A Trader's Journey. My name is Leslie Pips. Welcome to another edition of our Sunday pre-market sessions. Um, yeah, it was quite an interesting week, and I foresee another interesting week coming up. So we've got a lot to unpack. I'll try and make it shorter this time, but I love doing these videos. I love analyzing the market, so sort of get caught up in the moment sometimes, but yeah, thank you for guys for joining me for those likes and subscriptions. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, let's dive in. So obviously here we're looking at the pound dollar. I wanted to start with the pound dollar because I took a trade here last week, but I'll do like a big recap on it probably tomorrow. That video should be up tomorrow about the thinking behind this video. So on one account, I took it on two accounts. So one account I made a mistake on, but I'll unpack that tomorrow when I do the video. Today it's just about looking to the future, looking to what's coming next week. So let's take a deep dive in. Obviously, let's just start on the weekly and just analyze the weekly chart. Obviously, on the weekly, the price was looking a bit bearish before Powell spoke on Friday at 4 p.m. That's when you saw a big candle shoot up. So we were trading, we were coming down actually. I was, like I said in my previous videos, I was looking at sort of these lows and these lows to be sort of for price to sort of reach out to it. You know, I was expecting quite a bullish dollar to finish off the year, but obviously Powell spoke. He wasn't very bullish about the economic outlook in the US, so the market reacted to what he was saying. So that's what you see this big candle here. Obviously you see the wick. We've swept the previous weekly lows, and then we started to shoot up. So what am I expecting next week? I'm expecting a bit of a wick fill towards these areas over here, and then the price continued to go up. I'll analyze it on a daily, but I need price to open, fill up some of this wick, which will be an imbalance on the lower time frames. So open, fill some of this wick, and see a continuation towards these highs over here. If we are seeing a weaker dollar, going into the daily candle, daily chart. So on the daily, obviously we were looking at something like this when price was pushing down before the news on Friday. Some price to react here, potentially come take out these lows here, right? That's what I was looking at. But then obviously you have to react to what the market is giving you. So the fact that we filled this gap over here, and then we reacted, engulfed all of these candles and closed above this flip zone, right? As you can see, let me just remove this out the way. So you can see this is the flip zone. This is the last order block. And you can see price, obviously, let me delete this. We wicked into this gap, filled some of this gap, and you started to run. And there's a flip zone here that we just flipped. As you can see, price closed above this area. So I'm expecting, like I said, on a weekly, bit of a open and bit of a gap fill, maybe to these lows, and see if we can continue to run up into these levels here, right? So this is the low that I'm looking at. The previous, this was Thursday's lows. So open, come fill some of that wick, some of this gap, and then continue going higher. Obviously I'm gonna be looking for entries above this area over here, right? Just a gap fill, close above this area, retest this area again, and then we can look at coming into these gaps like this and these highs, right? Price should be attracted to it, but the only way that's going to happen is we break this high here, because it's been holding for quite some time. So open, fill some of the wick, close above this area, come in, and then price should come interact with these highs over here. And then if we break this, then we are looking at somewhat this gap here to be filled. So at the moment we are gonna wait to see how Monday opens, because of there was so many orders that pushed price here. This is quite a big candle, so we're expecting a bit of a pullback during Monday, and then we'll make our decisions from there. If I go on the 4 hour, you can see what I'm talking about. We closed above this area, right? But I'm still expecting a bit of a pullback into these highs, and then depending if I want to be aggressive, because of I'm still worried about all this imbalance. So that's why my safe entry will be at this level, maybe targeting these highs, but my aggressive entry will be here. But I'm still worried about this gap. It's just too much to cover with your stop. So let's see how price reacts at this level over here, and then if I see a lot of rejections here and a engulfing candle, then I will entertain entering at this level. So at the moment we're gonna open, pull back a bit. My safe entry is above these highs, and my aggressive entry is here at this level. So let's see what happens. And yeah, that's GU for me. Let's look at EU, what EU has in store for me. EU as well. This is my weekend analysis. Start on the weekly. Yeah, EU never gave us a, on the weekly chart, never gave us a bearish behavior. You know, it never looked bearish, but the GU looked bearish. So EU, as you can see, same thing happened, swept the lows of the previous week, and then we closed above the opening price of the previous week. So I am looking for price to come and interact with these highs over here, because of we closed above this area. So if I drag this across, you can see that's the order block there, was that level, and then the previous week rejected this level, and then this week was supposed to run down, but because of the news we managed to break up above this area. So if I go on the daily, you can clearly see we have broken above this level, right? And I'm expecting the exact same thing for price to open, come retest, close above this area, and then come interact with these highs over here, because of it looks like the DXY is looking very bearish at the moment, based on what Powell said on Friday. So this is what I'm looking at, and I'm looking for price to come interact with this high, or even this last high pre-break, and see what we do at this level. So this is what I'm looking at the EU. I'm not gonna analyze it too much. I kind of like GU's price action a bit better. So let's see what happens. Obviously it looks similar at the moment. Obviously I want an open, retest this area, and see what we do above these levels. So that's one to keep an eye on. And let's go on UJ. UJ, similar thing. I'm not gonna go in the weekly because of all of this. It's just a bit of a mess at the moment, but UJ might be looking a little bit bearish, but we need some clean price action. If I draw a structure like this, you can see we've been stuck in this consolidation zone. You know, it's been correcting up. It hasn't been as clean as sort of like this run over here. You see how clean this run is. This one has been very indecisive. It's been correcting up, and it sort of stops at these levels here all the time. And then obviously Friday happened, we swept this area and then we closed below, so we engulfed a lot of these candles. So with UJ, I am looking at a retest at this area. Let me just move this at this area. Reason being, this was the Thursday candle that was supposed to break this high, and then the news happened, so we flipped, failed to break above this level, and then we engulfed. So it's a lot of big momentum coming up, and I have a feeling we're gonna open with a gap because of the orders that came in on Friday. So I am looking at this one because of this engulfing candle and the DXY being very bearish. It's kind of looking similar to obviously the opposite of EU and GU, so it's looking similar. So I'm looking at these levels, but it's more, for me, it's more about this area over here. It's more about this area. If we can break this area, then I'll be interested, because price has been stuck in this range for quite some time, right? It comes to the bottom, reacts, goes to the top, reacts, comes to the bottom, reacts. So if I see a clear break at this area, I'll be interested in the short, probably targeting these lows, and lows like this areas over here, and potentially this one to close off the year. But let's see how we close. Yeah, because obviously I'm expecting a bit of a pullback when we open, fill some of the gap, and then anything that closes below this area and retest this area, then I'll be interested in a short at this level because of how the market is reacting at the moment. So because of what happened on Friday, there's going to be a open with a gap, whether high or low, but there's going to be a gap, and we'll see where, if we close below these levels, then I'll be interested in a short. And yeah, I've been off gold for a bit because of it has been struggling a bit at this area, so I'm not gonna analyze gold for now. I'm off gold for a bit, but the fact that it's coming into this extreme zone, maybe I'll have a look on how we do on Monday. But I'm not gonna do gold. I'll do a separate video for gold. I know I promised you guys last week. Just the week just got away from me. I was caught up in a lot of stuff. There's still some lot of content to come through. I still have to do a gold video. I still have to do my trade recaps from last week. I know you guys want to see how that happened, and everything went according to how I forecasted. So these forecasted videos are very important for me to stay ready, especially when I'm busy in a week, in the week. So I took a trade based on exactly what I forecasted, and I only had to execute. I didn't have to reanalyze everything. I had to execute. So keep in mind that these forecasts really help you get ahead of the market, and especially if you have a 9 to 5 or life gets busy. So doing these pre-market forecasts, they help you stay ready and just execute when the market opens. So thank you guys, thank you for joining me, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.